Hello, everybody. Uncle Rob with you here in the studios in Little Rock, Arkansas, and Uncle Ryano is in the studios over in Shreveport. We are caw for sure. We're doing our Cashbox Studios, is what we're calling it. We've got an interview lined up for you guys today. He's an independent artist who recently got in with BGJ, and I want to say he's with the GAC record label as well, with Leon Everett. Mr. Kile Antone, what's up, man?
Hey, man, I'm glad to be with y'all today. Thank you for having me here.
Absolutely, man. Tell us a little bit about you. Where are you from, man?
Well, I'm from South Carolina. I'm in the upstate of South Carolina, and I'm born and raised in this area, and kind of guess I'll be here until the day I die. This is just home. But yeah, I'm married, and I'm a paramedic by trade. I'm a pastor by occupation as well, and also a country music singer. So I stay busy with all that I got going on.
I think the paramedic field would probably be very, very rewarding.
I like both of them. I think that man right there, that's my kind of people. I need to have more people like you as my wingman, because I need somebody that can heal the soul while we working on the body. You know,
that's right. That's right.
I'm a terrible influence. I'm just saying. Yes.
Well, I've been a paramedic now for 12 years. I've been a pastor for 28 years, and I have found that both those occupations cross over constantly into one another's field, and so it is a great privilege. I was in law enforcement for almost 20 years, and so I know about law and grace, and I know about it all, so I'm enjoying it, getting to share it with others.
Did you ever have to, not to say give the last rites, but have you ever had to pray over somebody when you're out there being a paramedic?
Yes, I have. I have prayed over them. I've sung to them, held their hand and cried with them, and I've just walked the road with them, which helps me in my songwriting. I'm trying to jump ahead too fast, but those experiences from those areas of my life really have some great stories that are connected to them that I'm still writing out, and it's I think that's the fun thing about songwriting. We were talking just before we went on air, is connecting real life with what you're talking about. So yeah, I've had to do that. I've had to pray with folks and hold their hand as they were dying, and the whole 9 yards.
Takes a special breed of person to do that, man.
That's what my dad said. My dad said, I could never do what you do. He said, I couldn't handle it.
That's why you were born.
Yes, sir.
Because a lot of people couldn't do what you do. And I wanted to say that to me, and we harp on this all the time about tribe. Tribe's key, the skeleton key, the Willy Wonka golden ticket to end a tribe. It's not that you got a 4-octave range. It's not that you play better than Carlos Santana. It's not that you write like Robert Frost. It's your humanity. And you're demonstrating that you are a representative of the creator. You're a representative of the music universe. You are a representative of your parents and your family and your community. And you're embody all of that. Men don't have to be good at only one thing. Yeah. And the best men are good at a lot of things. And you are so happy. You have a joy about you and a light about you because you're living your purpose and you know it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can definitely say I know what my purpose in life is. And I have pretty much always felt that way, that, I know what I'm here on this earth for. And I hate to hear people say I don't know what my purpose is, especially when they're older in life and they still haven't figured out. You're here to be the best you that you can be, and to bring God glory in that. There's your purpose. All the other stuff is just dressings that come with it, but that's where the heart of life is being you and authentically living that life.
Yes, sir.
You're right about being able to figure out. It takes a while to figure out sometimes what your purpose is. Mm-hmm. It took me 50 years to figure out what my purpose is. And now I know that. I kind of wanted this to be my purpose the whole time I was out there running across country, because I mean, really, who really wants to look out of a windshield of a Peterbilt for their entire life? But we're very thankful and honored to have you with us and being able to share that with us. Tell us, you recently got in with BGJ, Beverly Jenkins. Tell us about that.
Well, I'm a GAC Records of Nashville artist, and through that, I was introduced to Beverly Gosden Jenkins and BGJ. And I was also introduced to Fame Entertainment Group, which is another branch that is connected to GAC that is now doing my management. And so I met Leon Everett, who's the president of GAC, at a show that he was doing, and I was going to be his opening act. And we kind of hit off a friendship, and he heard me sing for the first time. And to be honest, I didn't even know who he was when I went to do the show. I just knew I had an opportunity to sing.
You know now.
I was going to take that opportunity. But after the show, we had a long conversation, and he invited me to come on board with the GAC record label. And I told him I would, and then he immediately introduced me to Beverly, which has been a tremendous promoter for what I'm doing and for all the GAC artists. And out of that come a relationship with Wesley Fricks, who runs Fame Entertainment Group. And so it has been an amazing journey. I already had music that I was writing and putting out just as singles, but Leon and all of the team that he has around him have really begun to help me to focus it in on having my first full album out by November. And so we're shooting for that. But it's been an exciting journey. Although I've been singing and playing since I was 14, doing it as a I say semi-occupation. I work full-time at a college teaching and directing a paramedic program.
When do you sleep?
Yeah,
you're a pastor, you're a paramedic, and you're singing, and now you're telling us you're working at a college.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start paying attention, because I think me and Kyle might be working the same shift. I'm gonna double check. We
you working at a college, Ryano?
No, I would be
causing
problems. Yeah.
You're at the College of Hard Knocks, my man.
So, yeah. But I pastor two churches, so I've got two responsibilities there. Yeah, but so 3 years ago, I decided to go to an open mic here in my town. I had never done that before, and when I did and sang for the first time, people immediately responded very positive to that and started inviting me to come sing in restaurants and bars and festivals and stuff. And from that, it has just really taken off. And so I've been blessed by it. It's been fun for me. I've worked all my life. I had a chance to go to Nashville when I was 16, and my mom said no, that I was going to finish high school. And I wound up getting a car and a girlfriend, and as the old story goes, everything else kind of went to the back burner, including music, for many years. And I just worked and raised a family. But now in my 50s, I'm exploring this music thing again, and it's opened up in a big way for me. So I did 60 shows last year, which was my first full year of doing public music like this. And then this year, I'm already at 85 shows. I'm shooting for 125 for this year, and putting out my first full album.
If you're at 85 and we are barely 7 months into this, you're well on your way, my friend.
Yes, sir. It's been an interesting journey, to say the least. And these are doors that are opening up without me even trying. I'm just walking through the opportunities that are given to me and seeing what happens next.
But you know why those doors are opening?
Yes, sir. I sure do.
The man upstairs is taking care of all that. You're doing your part. He's doing his part.
Yes, sir. That is true.
What is your music style? I mean, do you do gospel music, being you're a preacher?
Yeah, I do some gospel. My passion is traditional country. I enjoy gospel, but my avenue to express what's inside of me with music is really in the country traditional country sound. So I love the steel guitars and the fiddles and just the traditional sound of older country. But I like some of the new stuff too, the rockin' stuff as well. I'm kind of a smorgasbord of musical influence from classical all the way up to hard rock. I've got it all in my life, and so I glean from all of it. But yeah, traditional country is really my sweet spot where I enjoy.
You understand that that's so necessary because both for the word, okay, as well as for the genre. Mm-hmm. I harp on this all the time because I love it when a quote unquote purist who wants to keep something the same way comes up walking and gets in my face. I've had a bunch of incredible preachers, and they were men who represent, and women who represented the Creator. Okay. Yeah. I say preacher, but they talk at you. You know, I like folks that talk with you. Yeah. And they come, and, you know, the purists are always funny, be traditional music or with the church. Okay. Mm-hmm. To me, they're both a church, because if they're really three chords and the truth, then it's got to be a different type of church. Yeah. And 2/3 of the letters in God are go. Every time an angel came in, they said, you go and do blank. Okay. It's not sat, that's somebody else. Okay. Right. So you get up and you go. You don't preach to the choir. You hit the street and you bring in the new people to the lighthouse. That's if right. You're not doing that, then it's not a lighthouse. That's and so right. It's you are doing it. You use whatever medium you have. If you're a carpenter, mm-hmm. If you're a musician, whatever your connection is to the world, you use that to bring people to the point of origin of all light. And yes. So you're doing that, and it's amazing, and you're loved and appreciated for it, because we need more of that.
Well, I just try to be human. You know, I don't tell people I'm a preacher. You know, I don't force the gospel on them. And in the settings of me singing in the music world, I usually don't even announce that I'm a pastor or anything like that. I just sing my songs, let them get to know me as me, because for a lot of folks, as soon as they hear preacher, especially in some of the places that I'm going and singing, they immediately shut down, and they have nothing else to do with you, because they don't want it forced down their throat. And I don't blame them. I don't like it forced down my throat either. And so I think I'm approaching ministry the way Jesus did, in first building relationships, and then out of those relationships sharing the hope that the gospel gives. And so I'm enjoying it. It's fun. I've got a lot of folks that don't understand why I'm doing what I'm doing, but I know I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So that's all I need, is just that assurance that God's good and I'm good, and we're going to keep moving forward. And that's what's important. You know what you're doing is right, and He's the one that gave you that gift. I mean, it's like Ryano says it a lot of times. Everybody's got some kind of talent. Mm-hmm. To me, it's a travesty when people are wasting that talent. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yes, sir. They have it. They can play the guitar or do whatever that is their talent. But I'm like, dude, I can't even pick a fret. I mean, you need to do something with that talent. I mean, share that with the world. It was given to you for a reason. Yes, sir. That's true. That's true. Well, I'm giving it all that I got. That way, whenever I'm get done with this life, I'll be fully exhausted and ready to go on to the next one to see what that looks like. You'd be ready to go to that resting land. Yeah. Yeah. So if I go see Kile Antone, do you play bars? Do you play casinos? Yes, do you play? Never played a casino, although I would. I just never had the opportunity. So what am I going to see? Am I going to see a lot of what you just said? Am I going to see maybe some George Strait and some some Jason Aldean stuff? Maybe some David Allen Skinner or. Yeah, well, yeah, you got the whole gamut. Toby Keith, you go hear Jason Aldean, you go hear Luke Bryan, then you go all the way back to George Jones or Merle Haggard, and even Ernest Tubb, and you're going to have a wide range. And then I'm going to slip over and do you some Hootie and the Blowfish and some Bruce Springsteen and
You got to
Billy Ocean.
represent Hootie and the Blowfish.
That's right. That's right. South Carolina.
They're from your home state. Come on now, Darius Rucker.
Yeah, but I'll do it my way so that it's unique to me, because I'm not just trying to copy other people. I'm
that's
trying to
the
get
key
that
right there.
own.
Make it yours. Make it different, but be the same song.
That's right.
What is your most popular? You get out there on stage, something you got to play like every night.
Who's Your Daddy by Toby Keith.
Really?
Yes, people love it. Even when it's not on my set list, somebody will come up and say, "Will you do Who's Your Daddy?" Yeah, I'll do Who's Your Daddy. So they love it.
You play what is that? What is that song Toby Keith did? Red, White, and Blue. Courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue.
I sure do. Yeah, that's usually the closing song. That's a real good one to do, especially around those national holidays. I do Independence Day by Martina McBride, and another great one that people love. I do
God
Men
Bless the
in
USA,
Music.
Lee Greenwood.
Yes, do that one. Sure do.
So when you're not doing music, you're not doing EMT, you're not doing pastoring. What in the college? You're not doing that. What do you like to do for fun, man?
Well, music really is the fun thing at this point, but I like hanging out with my wife and my kids and my grandkids, and I enjoy hunting and fishing, and really I don't have much time for anything else beyond all that stuff. That's my life, is just staying busy. But I have to carve out, so people say, how do you get done everything that you do? I have to have a really disciplined calendar. And I make time for things on purpose. Going out on a date with my wife on purpose. Spending time with my children and grandchildren on purpose. It's not just by happenstance or chance. It's I gotta make it happen.
My thing is, I've got a calendar like you, because I've got so much stuff going on, and I got to keep all these interviews lined up, because I need to know who's coming on, when they're coming on. It's like, but when you get something thrown into the mix like I did yesterday, kind of gets me mad, because it's like I literally had no control over what happened yesterday, but at the same time, it doesn't change the fact that it shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
And then that gets you behind for things that you got to do the next day.
Yes. And I tell you what, I don't know if you're this way, but I tell you one of the things I struggle with is saying no to people.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll let people impose upon me what they need from me or what they expect me to do or whatever that might throw me off course big time. And I've had to learn that sometimes no is a complete sentence. I don't have to give any other reasons or explanations. Just, no, I can't do that. And
that's the thing I don't like, is when I got to say no.
Yeah.
They want an explanation or a reason why. I'm like, I should not have to give you a reason why.
Yeah,
there's a reason. It's my reason. I'm not asking you why you do and don't do what you do.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. I'm a human being, and life happens.
That's right.
But I know I'm like you. It's hard for me to say no. I've gone into a situation where I'm like, nope, I ain't doing this. Ain't no way I'm going to do this. They smooth talk it and sweet talk it, and I find out that I'm doing what I didn't want to do. Do.
And also having to learn to build boundaries or to set boundaries, and say this is as far as I'm going, or this far as I'm going to let you come, and setting that up ahead of time to protect me, to protect my family, protect my sanity.
Oh, so absolutely.
Learning that. Boundaries are a healthy thing is a good thing to learn. I'm still learning that, though.
And
you are entitled to your peace. They are not entitled to dominate that.
That's right.
People who will not invest in themselves at the same level that you are trying to invest in them to help them, those people are a terrible investment.
Yes.
You have to, I inherently had, that's just funny. You're all over this is one of my biggest personal challenges. When I see someone on the side of the road, my arms and shoulders pull off. I always go because I felt like that was always my mission. Well, the truth is, when the devil can't stop you, the devil will try to distract you.
Yes,
and
sir.
so that's how that works. And a lot of times that person you're pulling over to help, you need to pump your brakes. God's in the middle of teaching them a lesson.
That's exactly right.
And you need to back off, and I have picked a lot of people up and carried a lot of people for a lot of miles just to go, you won't put your legs down. Or when you do, you're trying to kick me in the back of my legs. And so that's for the listeners, for everybody listening to this, rejection is protection. When folks, they treat you like that, that's the good Lord, that their true nature comes out. They'll change their behavior to camouflage their nature.
Yes. Yes, they will.
And so once you see it, just because the snake sheds its skin and looks brand new, it's still a snake.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is very beneficial to disconnect.
Yes.
You have to do that. Again, it's hard for me to do that. I will do a lot of things, and I'm on the phone all day and texting and phone calls. At a certain part of the day, I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'm going to put the phone on the charger. I'm going to, watch TV or do whatever I'm going to do. But you still are curious about what's on that phone.
Yeah.
Who's sending what message? And the disconnection part is really difficult.
It sure is. And being a pastor, I'm always concerned when I do disconnect, something's going to happen. Somebody's going to need me somewhere, and I'm going to miss it. And I worry the whole time. So I have to learn just, what? I'm not God. They might want me to help them. They might want me to be there, but ultimately I'm not God. So I'm going to let God be God, and I'm going to sit over here and recharge my batteries and let him have things under control like he always does.
Even
he don't need me.
Even if you are a servant of God, you are still entitled to your rest.
That's right.
You cannot function and do your serving if you're wore out.
Yep, you're right. You're right. And I had to learn that the hard way because I've worn myself out more than once over the years. On the ambulance and working in EMS, especially 911 service like I've always worked in, you work 24-hour shifts. And the pay is not as high as you would think it is. Everybody thinks that EMS personnel make a lot of money. We really don't. I make $42,000 a year working 24-hour shifts, being on 24, being off 48, and coming back in working another 24. So you work a lot of overtime to make ends meet. And there's been many times I've worked 48-hour shifts and been just exhausted, have one day off, turn around, come back in and killing myself. But you got to do what you got to do to make the bills meet. But still, I had to learn the hard way. I might have to figure out, is my budgeting off? Is my expensive lifestyle what's causing this problem? Because I can't kill myself trying to work all the time. So
I had a friend of mine.
Same way in music.
I had a friend of mine that was the first responder with the fire department. And they would work 24, 6A to 6A, and then they were off for a day or two, and then they worked 6A to 6A again. Yeah. They were, I think, 4 days a week is what they were doing. They were doing 4 24s, I think is what it was. And he said it's kind of difficult to get your schedule right. I mean, you get in your sleep because in the middle of the night when there's nothing going on, you're going to sleep. But at the same time, you have got to be ready when it's time to go.
Well, if you're working in an agency that runs 24 hours a day in a bigger town like the one we live in, you don't sleep during the night. You're running a whole 24-hour shift, and you catch a nap here, you catch a nap there, but otherwise you're on the road and you're writing reports and taking care of people, and you got to be on top of your game to do that. You don't want to push the wrong drug on somebody because you're exhausted, or treat somebody without compassion because you're tired and your patience has grown thin.
You're going to get your nap on the way to the incident.
Yeah, yeah. Just hope
That's what
you
he
drive.
told me a lot. He said he said when it was busy, we would if there was a fire in the middle, 8-10 miles away, whatever. That's where he was getting they were getting their rest on the
Oh
way.
yeah, yep. I've laid down in the back of an ambulance more than once. Took a nap, in between calls.
Just for full disclosure to the listening public, he's not driving while he's taking
That's
a
right.
nap.
That's exactly
okay. All right.
I was going to ask you. I mean, you're pretty dang good if you're taking a nap and driving.
Well,
no, what I was going to
I've
say
done
is, with the guy that drives you out there, somebody else probably needs to drive you back where the other guy can rest on the way back.
That's right. I've often said it's a joke, but I've said I want to die peacefully like my grandfather did. Unlike the other people in the car that was yelling and screaming.
Max D. Barnes, you know who that is? Max D. Barnes is a legendary songwriter, and he totally punked me on that. Here I am, gullible, 24 years old, and Max was like 60 or 70 or something, and he always had this wah, 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 wah kind of voice. And I called him, and he answered the phone, and I noticed it was real low, and I said, Max, are you okay? What's going on? And he said, oh, my daddy died. And I was like, oh, no, that's so bad. I'm so sorry, man. I'm so sorry. Natural question process. Yeah. What happened? Oh, he just passed away. Yeah, I'm thinking, damn, Max, you're like 60s. Your dad had to be like 1,000. How old was and Max is sitting there, and he's like, oh, yeah. He said, Daddy passed away in his sleep. I said, well, that's a blessing, Max. That's a blessing. Yeah. I want to go just like Daddy, totally at peace and sound asleep, not like those screaming, howling jokers in the car with him. And I'm like, ooh, Max D. Barnes. Nobody likes you, Max.
Yeah.
We're not friends. Yeah.
That's good.
No, you nailed it. As soon as you pivoted, I went, ooh, you've been hanging around the same horrible people I have. Okay.
Yeah.
Proud of you.
Yeah. And my humor can get awful dark really fast, so I have to govern that.
Well, no, I mean, humor's meant to, it's shock and awe, and what makes it funny is there's humor, there's truth in it,
Yes, there is.
If you can't have a sick sense of humor and a slight touch of high blood pressure in the world we got going on around us, there's something wrong with you, man.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Man.
I used to have major high blood pressure, but once I got off the road, I mean, I get my checkups now, man. It's like 120 over 75. I'm like,
oh yeah,
it looks like my lisinopril is doing what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
But and you're in some pretty stressful jobs. I mean, especially with the EMS. I mean, pastor's probably not as stressful, but it could probably be as well.
It can be. But yeah, you're right. It's not as stressful as policing or paramedicing. But it's I've learned how to deal with the stress and not let the stuff weigh on me. I hate folks that deal with PTSD, and I have PTSD, but I don't let it drag me down into that black pit. And I've had to learn how to not let stress do that.
It's possible. You can say all you want to do. You can say, but I speaking firsthand, because that's what, and I try to apply it to other people's firsthand. But I was raised by my grandparents. Mm-hmm. My grandfather, a World War II pilot. Okay. These guys, let's look at Normandy, what happened on the beaches in Normandy. And that made the Civil War look like patty cake. And so, horrible, horrible sights and things and sounds that people endured. And they came home just as screwed up as everybody else. Okay. But somehow they found a way to center. Families were stronger then, all these different things. God was allowed to be closer to the people. It wasn't, constantly, people are trying to dissuade you from bringing that in. And so basically, they came home. My grandfather came home and raised a son had a great life with his wife and his amazing, incredible queen, my grandmother, and he became a fireman and then the fire chief of Tyler, Texas. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
That's how you do. You do
That's right.
what you got. And I'm not by any means belittling or making light of or anything. It's real.
Yeah.
But what are we missing now that we weren't missing back then when it came to properly grabbing, controlling, and compartmentalizing all of that?
Yeah.
What would you say?
Right. I think it is the faith factor.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I find my peace. Is I turn my worries and concerns and bad experiences over to God. I say, Lord, you got to help me find peace in the midst of this storm. And he does every time, because he never fails. And so, folks today, in our culture of today, God is an add-on to their life instead of being the foundation in a lot of situations.
Yes.
And so because of that, they don't turn to him whenever those difficulties come, and they try to handle themselves. And there are things that are greater than me that I'm not going to be able to handle by myself, that I'm going to have to turn over to somebody that's greater than me. And so whether you call that a higher power, you call that the Lord, you call that whatever, there's that reality you got to come to, that I am weak and I am feeble. I have feet of clay and I do break. And if I'm going to find healing, it's going to have to be in something greater than me. And for me, and I think for everybody, but for me in my life, I recognize that as being God. And
wouldn't you say you're right? And when society has now influenced the church versus the church influencing society, that's a huge one. And then I'm a layman, so you're a true real deal preacher man. I'm just the heathen on the back pew. But I would say for me, I always have kind of pondered on the fact that it really appears in society now that man has made God in their image versus the other way around. And as the accessory, like you said, not the cornerstone, not the backbone, but an accessory that goes with what I'm wearing today in this societal circle. And once you're dealing with that, it's not going to help you, because you can't make God in your image. God doesn't want, he's not worried about you winning the lottery. He's not worried about these things.
That's clear. That's clearly the case.
Yeah,
So for me,
he told me to tell Rob Charles, quit wasting your scratch off money. Yeah.
And you'll find out at some point, Lord willing, that if you got him, you got something more than the lottery.
Well, and here's the thing. Like you said, folks do turn to him when they are in need and things are bad, but they also need to turn to him when things are good.
That's right.
They need to thank him for what they've gotten, that they prayed for. I mean, I pray to him every night before I go to bed. Sometimes what I ask for happens. A lot of times it don't, but it doesn't matter. I will thank him for every single thing he gives me every day. Thank him for giving me another day to feel like I was good enough to be in his world.
That's right. You're right, brother. And that's good. So many are Christmas, Easter, and crisis Christians instead of every day walking with him. And that's what he wants. He wants us to walk with him every day. It's about a relationship. It's not about being religious. It's not just saying this because you're wearing a cross around your neck, but it's not about wearing a cross around my neck, or a Christian t-shirt, or carrying a Bible that's as big as a ping pong table.
Or a tattoo of Jesus on my right arm.
Yeah. It's about walking with him day in and day out. Even when you screw up, you say, Lord, I screwed up. And he's got enough grace and mercy to forgive you. And you continue to build that relationship with him.
How do you explain or help folks reconcile where it's not a one size fits all? The approach is staying true to the actual message to each, without conforming that. I'm saying actually each application to individuals is different. I'm not a turn the other cheek Christian. I'm a table flipper. That's just, I'm just saying, they know when I've come to church. And so I see that. I see people all the time that'll be waving that book like you talked about, but they don't have any direct chapters or verses that they they actually can come in and give to people, you know. And I don't stand on a book, but I've read it multiple times, and I don't call myself a Christian. I try to work to a point where I can be legitimate in saying I'm Christ-like, not Christ-esque, but I'm closer some days than others. Some days I'm a long way away. Some days I'm getting a little closer. You know, I can see it. You know,
yeah.
You're like John Kennedy, senator from Louisiana.
Yeah, I don't pray. I don't pray for myself. I have one prayer that I pray for myself, only one, and it's the same one for the last 30 years. And when I do pray in regards to myself, I will ask that I can be the best possible version of myself for those who are counting on me. I do pray for you. I will pray for Rob. I will do that in a heartbeat. And did you ever see the movie The Apostle?
Mm-hmm. I love that movie.
See, okay, that's I got some of that going on where somebody standing outside and they're like, "What's all that yelling in your house?" And it's like, "Oh, that's just so and so. He's up there talking to the Lord." And you hear him cussing and screaming and stomping and people have their own version of praying. And I believe in humility, but I also believe in honesty all at the same time.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Authenticity.
Yeah. Like a child, we don't comprehend what a gift we were given when God said no to something that we asked for. We don't. And the older I get, the clearer that is. Some of the things that I thought I had to have this, Lord, this has got to go through. This has got to be successful. But I have the greatest gift of my life right now because that thing or those things didn't happen. Yeah.
And I think that's part of learning to pray, thy will be done, not my will be done.
Mm-hmm.
We pray that Lord's Prayer, but do we really know what we're asking for?
Mm-hmm.
May your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. How's his will done in heaven? Perfectly. Nobody questions it. Nobody challenges him. I challenge him and question him all the time down here. So I'm really saying, Lord, help get me in line with you. But yeah, it's that's where I live. I'm like you, and I just because I'm a preacher, it don't mean nothing. I put my britches on like everybody else. I struggle with sin just like everybody else. I'm still trying to figure it all out just like everybody else, and so I'm just doing it the way I know to do it. And that may look different than your way, and it may look different than somebody else's way, but you're not going to give an account for me, and I'm not going to give an account for you. So don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
Excellent, man. So this is the part of the interview where we are going to invite you back in 90 days.
All right.
We will talk in 90 more days. It'd be towards Christmas, and then we can talk about things that are going on with your church maybe for Christmas. Your new album should be out around November, so we can talk about that as well.
Yes, sir.
But right now, what we do, Kyle, is at the end of the interview, we always let the interviewee choose a couple of songs that they would like us to put in at the end of the interview. It's your choice. Which two of your songs would you like us to put in?
Well, let's do Drink Some More, which is the one that's on the Cashbox charts for the first time ever. I got on those this month. It's at number 88 being introduced, and so I'm hoping that it goes on up the charts. And if it don't, that's okay too. I'm gonna still sing songs and be happy about it, but it would be neat to see how far it goes. And the other one is, I think you have it. I'll Be There Soon.
I think if I don't have it, just send both of those, or have Beverly send it, and we'll get it rolling, and we'll get it taken care of.
So the song I'll Be There Soon, I wrote at the first of this year when a couple that had been married for 64 years died within just a couple of days of each other unexpectedly. The wife died of a stroke, and the day she died, the husband said, "Won't be long and I'll be with her." 2 nights later, he gets up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, loses his balance, falls, hits his head on the corner of the bed. He has a brain bleed, and he dies. And so they held her body until his body was prepared, and we did their funerals together.
Nice.
Well, in that time between their deaths, I wrote that song, I'll Be There Soon. It's him talking to her.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's okay.
Yes, sir.
It's him talking to her about, we've lived a good life together. We've enjoyed a family. We've enjoyed time together. And now you're in heaven. It won't be long and I'll be with you. And we're going to spend eternity together. And so yeah, that's one of my favorite songs that I've ever written, just because it's real life. I can put shoe leather on that one and understand it. So I'll send it to you. Make sure you got it.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I don't know why in the world I'm getting so emotional.
Because it's so honestly true. Anyone who's ever loved someone, anyone who's ever truly loved someone in the most incredible divine way.
Yes, sir.
And yes, sir. That's incredible. And the love, I did not meet these two beautiful individuals, but I immediately was feeling everything you were just saying. So,
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The key is you're getting emotional because it's real, bud. It's real.
That's right.
It is real. Kile Antone, appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We're going to get those 2 songs on for you. We're going to get you back in about 90 days, man.
Sounds great. I look forward to being with y'all again. Folks can check out my music on all the streaming platforms. You can go to KileAntoneMusic.com and keep up with what's going on with me. And thank you for having me. Thank GAC and BJJ for connecting me with you all. I'm glad to be a part of the nation.
Well, you're definitely
welcome to the tribe.
Yes,
Kile Antone for you right here on the Uncle Show.